Did you know that Jayco didn't really discontinue the Whitehawks? They just renamed them. This thing has evolved like a Pokemon. It's like, go, J-Feather, I choose you!
It's a Pikachu.
Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Jayco's 2025 dealer display, getting to see a look at everything that's new here, and something that's actually been kind of a long time coming has finally happened. The J-Feather and the Whitehawk series got so similar that they just eventually merged into one thing, and they merged under the J-Feather name. So a lot of people have kind of freaked out. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe Jayco canceled the Whitehawk. I'm very sad about this. They didn't. It just joined, like, look at this thing. It looks a lot like a Whitehawk, doesn't it? You know, J-Feather and Whitehawk had the exact same construction, almost identical features the last couple of years. So they said, why not just kind of merge them together, clean up the lineup, and they kept the very best of the Whitehawk floor plans in with the J-Feather family here. And I'm kind of calling these nose cap J-Feathers, the super slides and bigger, the J-Feather Plus or Prestige or whatever you want to think. It's the same thing as the non-nose cap J-Feathers, just a little bit bigger. That really is the only difference. Now this is a very proven, very popular floor plan that they pumped out right here, and they maintained a pretty traditional version of it where you've got a front kitchen with a super slide, and this thing, because of the shape of the nose cap, they extended the countertop all the way up in there. It has insane countertop prep space, appliance space, all that stuff. Fantastic storage below, good wastebasket space built right in, which is something that I always look for. But we have a private True Queen bed slide with a redesigned like wardrobe setup that'll give you more and better storage right here. Now this is a two-stage travel access kind of camper where you're gonna need both doors to get to all of the areas of the RV. But if you look at the size and the weight of this, it's something that you don't necessarily need a Gravedigger monster truck to be able to tow around. We still have the enclosed heated belly, the double Asdel, the Magnum truss plywood decked walk-on roof, the aluminum frame construction through the walls and the floor. All the things that really defined the Whitehawk that you saw before, they're still here. You can still throw a second air conditioner on it if you're so inclined. They just gave it a different name. So we're gonna go through and maybe reintroduce you to an old friend, show you good, bad, ugly, and everything in between. And any questions you have along the way, leave me a note and let's go. But if if you're new to this and this floor plan is all news to you, what does it bring to the table? And the answer is a lot. This is a very, very popular layout across a lot of different manufacturers. We've got a full living room and kitchen super slide with a very private rear bedroom slide. And that's funny because that's actually a very classic way of making RVs, front kitchen, rear bedroom. That was the almost default couples camper for the longest time. And then slide outs kind of changed that around. Now, with having a full super slide up on the nose, it's going to make it a little hitch heavy for a lot of half tons, but there's still a pretty solid wide variety of vehicles that can handle one of these. But what else do we have? We've got pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry, big 12-volt DC compressor fridge, and you see that vertical black slot next to it? It's actually an indoor-outdoor picnic table that's included with the RV. You're probably going to use it outside more than inside, but it's nice that it has its own picnic table built in, because if you look at the upper left corner of the screen, assuming I remembered to include this image, you're looking at a set of enthusiasts cleaning their sewer hose on the public picnic table. It's absolutely disgusting. That's why you at least want to run around with a picnic table cloth, if not your own. I like to use disposables, actually, just because, if not your own picnic table. Anyway, moving past that, the counter space in this is phenomenal. Like, as I get closer and you can start to understand some scope and depth and scale, it's absolutely fantastic. They added a new little dedicated knife rack kind of behind the oven right there, the stovetop. Not like a major, like, oh, that's the reason I'm buying this RV, but like, look at this. It's so deep. Some of it's almost tricky to access unless you're tall like me and you can really reach really far. So what I would recommend doing is that sort of upper shelf in the back corners. That's what I would make my appliance stations, so that you're not constantly reaching back there. Do you figure, like if you have an air fryer, most of the appliances in the back, the bucket air fryer things that you're pulling out are more toward the front. You can reach those more easily. You might ask, well, why did they have this level shift right here? That's because they don't have a supplier that can make one flat chunk of thermal foil counter that size. So they actually did have to put a little bit of a level change in there. They also, you can see, included some smart use of pop-up power towers where they really matter. And we'll get you back and open all the storage up. They did a fantastic job there. Jay Feather has gone to no heating in the floor. I think they've actually been that way for a little bit. I see so many RVs. I will tell you, sometimes stuff does get a little blurry. And we're looking at the optional table and chairs today. The standard configuration on this is a booth dinette, which is pretty normal for a lot of brands. And some people say, you know, why do they standardize a booth instead of something else? And basically it's because a booth dinette is the least expensive seating configuration for them. Because they can essentially build that in-house. Everything else they're buying from a supplier at an additional cost. So the booth is the base and everything else is some kind of upcharge. And oops, I hit the stovetop sparker. We're looking at the theater seating today, but you do also have a optional hide-a-bed available. So we're really looking at this today in pure couples mode, theater seat and dining table and chairs. If you want hide-a-bed and booth, you can also do that too. And you might notice too, they're not using the pleather this year. They've gone to an all cloth touch decor. North Point did that last year and really led the charge. And it's funny, North Point had exactly zero peeling, flaking, self-destructing sofa situations last year. Isn't that an interesting, coincidence right there? It turns out they have engineered the warranty out of the sofa seatings in that way. Beautiful location for that converter panel. That's something you really got to watch on some RVs. If you've never shopped for an RV before, keep an eye out for this black box. That's like your fuse box. If your slide motor pops a fuse, you're going to want that sucker easily accessed to swap a fuse out. Now, thankfully, it doesn't happen often typically, but man, if it happens and you can't get to it, that sucks manually cranking and overriding a slide out. It's really nice when you just don't have to deal with it. Let's talk air conditioning real quick. We've got a Coleman Mach Q Series quiet air conditioner up here, and it is centralized through the whole RV. You can get an optional second air in the bedroom. That's not applied to the RV we're looking at today. I will say, you know, in Michigan, where I'm from, for the most part, single air would probably do the trick. But frankly, with all the space that we have in this RV, even I would really prefer the second air conditioner, even where we camp, you know. Giving you a look at some deeper details here, you've got blackout roller shades through the entire RV, except for one little spot by the kitchen because it's too close to a fire source. Now that table can extend, so if you are going to have some guests over, you do have more elbow room to eat around that sucker. And this kitchen, man, when it's all closed up, it doesn't look super big time, terribly impressive, but the dedicated wastebasket space, actually where my backpack was located, what is there? 6 dedicated drawers. It looks like there's a 7th drawer to the bottom left of the oven, but if you actually get in this thing in person, you'll notice that drawer is screwed shut. That's because that's actually like an access panel to maybe like the water pump for winterizing or something like that. There's something under there that you don't want to put cargo and storage in there. Now the big pantry right by the door, you may have noticed had a couple little coat hook kind of things in it. You could turn that into a closet if you wanted to, but that is really the only pantry space in the RV. I probably personally wouldn't mess with it, and I would leave it how it is, because you do have hanging storage in the bedroom right next to an entry door. So if you need to just hop in real quick to grab a jacket, you actually have a really good place to put it right there. Now, we are in a live dealer display, and I'm starting to see a lot of bodies move around. I got here way before they were even serving breakfast. So it is entirely possible that we may end up with a surprise guest in here. But usually when they see that there's a guy in here running a camera, they're like, oh no, and they run away like they're on America's Most Wanted or something like that. The space around the toilet was fantastic. That's ab fab, baby. Absolutely fantastic porcelain foot flush space right there. And the toilet paper roller is very easily accessed, but out of the way. And if you're, you're dealing with a little bit of a hangover, you can always lean your head against the nice soft paper, toilet paper to give yourself a morning cushion. Just a little mini linen cabinet up there. They had a little corner pocket of space they didn't want to let go to waste. Massive mirrored medicine cabinet in this bathroom. One of the things that might be a deal breaker for some folks, though, is the radius shower. So if I stand up in that, it kind of reveals the fact that this RV is 6.5 foot tall from floor to ceiling. And with a radius shower, sometimes a person my size, your elbows might bang into the wall or the shower enclosure a little bit. And you might go, why didn't they go the rectangular shower? Well, the way that they have this one laid out, it just physically wouldn't fit. Now, Keystone Cougar's 25 FKD, it does have a rectangular shower, but it also has a walk-through bathroom. That is a big cavity. Holy cow, man. Some people don't like a walk-through bathroom. Some people don't like a walk-around bathroom. You know, that's why I like to record the same floor plan from different manufacturers, because they all have a couple things that kind of separate them a little bit differently, you know. Now, by default, this would be, I believe, a 60 by 80 queen bed. I'm eyeballing this. Now that I'm looking at it, I think that's actually an RV King. That looks like it might be 70 inches wide, so it might give you more space there. But the thing is, it's either that or it might be an Olympic Queen. That could, it's something in there. I'll try to get that verified and leave you a note on screen if I haven't done so already. What is nice though, both sides do have a nice little, I'm going to call that a phone stand, not a CPAP stand, but you do have a nice little phone stand with household and USB outlets built right into the slide box on both sides. You also have some nice breeze windows on both sides of that bed right there. And if you look above the bed, you notice that those cabinet doors hold themselves open, so you don't have to do juggling like the Cirque du Soleil act that I watched yesterday over here in Vegas, which, by the way, if you've never seen one of those things and you have the opportunity, absolutely do it. What you see on TV or in the commercials does not even come close to doing them justice. Absolutely blew my mind. My daughter just looked at me and she wasn't even excited to go. We got done. She goes, "That was amazing." Like, it just had a massive impact on the audience, you know. Anyway, they've redesigned the closet space here as compared to the White Hawk 26 FK, and they've actually just given us, I think, a little bit nicer looking, cleaner execution with 9 very significantly sized dresser drawers. Now, this RV does have dual entry doors, because as we flip over to road mode, you're pretty much going to need them both if you want to be able to get to the bathroom and the kitchen. Now, I also want to offer a little bit of a caution. They did a smart thing here where if you do want to replace that mattress, they did leave you a couple inches when the slide closes. But you might want to make sure what you're going to want to do is measure the total height that's in here. I don't have that number handy right now myself, and make sure you get a mattress that'll fit within that. Now, here's another thing. This is kind of a bummer. This is a Schwintek slide. Schwintek slides are not rated for you to sit in and occupy them in transit when the slide is closed. So that does mean that you really want to have the bed open to sleep in it, which means this RV is really going to be a destination RV and not the best traveling RV. Different slide systems have different benefits and different slide systems have different drawbacks. In fact, I know some nerdy guy that never shuts up that has a video on that entire subject. So the back door, basically, if you want to kind of get in and pack your closet up, you can sort of do that there. You can get to the bathroom. Your front door here basically will let you get up to the kitchen and then open stuff up, because this is a rack and pinion slide, and kind of like a Schwintek, they don't like it when you sit in that thing while it's retracted. Now, something I haven't mentioned, you have the BM Pro system here, which again was kind of like a White Hawky kind of feature. You still have that available here on this Jayfeather series. Again, all the really main big qualities that kind of defined White Hawk, you still find here on this bigger, what I unofficially call the Jayfeather Plus series. So if you like how we still get you the road mode footage and all that kind of good stuff, hit that subscribe button and let's see what else she has to offer. Now, there's going to be a ton of people that if you say, "I got a half ton, can I tow that?" A lot of people are just going to go like, "Yeah, absolutely. Give me your money. I'll sell this to you if you have a half ton." And I used to be one of them before I learned more about towing. And I'm not sure that this is a good pairing for most half-ton pickups, because when you have a full super slide dead on the nose of a trailer like this, it typically carries more hitch weight than a lot of half-tons really can handle in terms of payload. A lot of your half-tons will pull the RV, but they can't carry it properly, if that makes sense. Slam latch baggage doors on both sides is a nice little touch. If you look over on the left here, a little set of power outlets. Great if you want to bring like a little Bluetooth outside speaker or something out there. And they did manage to maintain a full front pass-through on this model. And I like to point that out because I think actually most of your front kitchen floor plans like this do not have a full front pass-through. but it's not super duper deep like a traditional pass-through, but at least it's something. They did it in a way that doesn't destroy the interior countertop space, but it's because their nose cap sticks out a little bit further. They had a little more room to play with there than a lot of other brands. Now you see a lot of RVs have these little prep brackets for slide awnings. You can still apply slide awnings to a Jayfeather. They just don't have a specific bracket for it. Hot, cold outside utility shower up here. Our main living room, seating slide that is rack and pinion, whereas the bedroom we'll see, I believe, is a Schwintek. We'll get an eyeball on that when we get back there. Pretty sure that's correct. Using the new quick drop stabilizers to keep more of the herky-jerky wiggle jiggle out of this equation. And, of course, power tongue jack, power awning, all those kind of things you sort of expect. This is also, I think, one of the best executions of a front windshield, because I think it makes your living room look and feel larger. But as we're seeing here, especially at night, if you are running the lights inside the RV, those tinted windows don't really do much in terms of privacy. During the day, they're excellent, but at night, you really probably want to pull the window shades. Now, they've maintained the double Asdel in the sidewall, so it's Asdel layered on the inside and outside. And like all Jayfeathers, they are really good about giving us some awesome awning space. Now, if I direct your attention to the upper right corner of the screen, you see that rectangular big black thing. That's your stovetop exhaust vent hood. The little black dot above that is an exterior thermistor. The RV's smart command system will also take note of exterior temperatures, ambient temperatures, to kind of help better regulate the interior temperature, knowing like, oh crap, it's getting really hot suddenly, like the temperature's rising, like the sun's coming up, so maybe we need to kick the air on a little bit harder. Little details like that. The tires, they are running Goodyear Endurance tires right here. These are still 87 mile an hour rated like they had been. You do have outside hookups right above that, by the way. And way above that, we have our outside speakers located at the perfect spot for your neighbors to enjoy them. You'll have to crank them up awful darn loud for yourselves to enjoy them. Now, if you look above the rear bedroom door, you see that little silver thing sticking up. That's your 200-watt solar panel. By default, this RV on the roof has one air conditioner and it has 200 watts of solar. You can basically double both of those things. You can get 2 airs on this. You can get 400 watts of solar. That is all factory available. And often we can help assist you with that from our stores. Now, the nose cap Super Slide Jayfeathers are 50 amps standard. The fiberglass nose nose cap Jayfeathers, those are 30 amps standard. I think some of them have 50 amp optional. It might be floor plan dependent. Some of the smaller ones may not have that opportunity. Now you might notice you don't see a spare tire on the back, just so that you know you do get a spare tire, and it's the same Goodyear tire that you get on the ground. Some manufacturers don't also give you Goodyears. You also see that you've got a gas grill quick connect. What you can't see as easily is the fact that this RV has an enclosed underbelly that is also forced air heated. These have a solid extended season package, and I think that's probably the biggest promise I can give you. There's no specific temperature number that Jayfeathers have been tested to my knowledge. If somebody knows any different than that, please give me leave me a little comment, let me know. I actually suspect Jayfeathers probably could handle down to 0 degrees, but to my knowledge, they haven't been tested for that, so I can't make a promise the manufacturer hasn't made, I wanted to wrap around here for 2 more things. One, to verify that yes, this is in fact a Schwintek slide system for your bedroom. I do love how you have breeze windows down both sides of those slides. I also want to point out something you probably won't like, and I hope you appreciate that I'll take the time to point this out. Like, it's neat. It's kind of hard to see, but it's neat that it has the sewer hose caddy tube right there. But this RV actually is a 2-headed sewer monster. You've got your bathroom black and gray outlet back here, but you do have a front kitchen out, I think. Oh my gosh. No, you don't. Oh my gosh. They actually plumbed the front kitchen all the way back here. I've never seen a manufacturer do that on this floor plan ever before. Guys, I'm so glad I was wrong. You don't even know. What's also interesting is they're building kind of a Big Brother version of this in the Eagle series now. So if there's a couple widgets and whiz bangs you felt are missing off this Jayfeather version the White Hawk used to have, trust me when I tell you, the 274 front kitchen bed slide eagle FKBS has everything the White Hawk had, and then another level beyond, including stackable washer dryer prep and a way bigger closet. So they're really making two versions of this thing now to really let you zero in on the one you want. Plus, tons of other manufacturers build this layout. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description to take a look at some of those other offerings and check for pricing and availability on one of these. We are definitely going to be stocking this thing. This is a very popular model. We're going to probably have it at any of our Jayco carrying stores whenever we have the opportunity. Let me know what you think about her. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.